Hello everybody and welcome to this week's cycling vlog. You might notice I've got a bit of a different t-shirt on today. Well, this is the one that's been provided for me by All We Can, which is rather smart and snazzy I think, and you can see it's got the logo for Change Begins with a Bicycle on it. So I thought I'd just bring you up to date with our latest newsletter in the Huddersfield circuit with regards to what's been going on or what's being planned. First big thing to be planned, and this is going to come up pretty shortly, on Saturday 13th of March at 6:30 there's going to be an online Zoom concert with all sorts of exciting acts playing for that. If you're interested, then just follow the information on the Huddersfield Methodist website and contact my good friend Suzanne, and she'll let you know how to get onto the Zoom link for that. And of course it is a fundraiser, so I think there's going to be donations hopefully you'll be able to feel you can give to support our project through that. Another exciting date for your diary is another Saturday. That's the 17th of April, around about 6:30 start. It's got to be sorted out quite yet. What we're calling a fun session with Tim Baker. Now Tim Baker is one of our local preachers in the Air and Calder circuit, but he's also involved with All We Can at national level, and he's an excellent person to listen to, great fun, and I'm convinced that will be a really fun time. So again, if you're interested in those, watch out for more details on our website. That's going to be coming up soon. Did you know that up until around about now we have, as a circuit in Huddersfield, cycled 1,390 miles towards our destination in Uganda? Well, of course that's not been including me, because I'm trying to cycle the 200 miles or so all the way down to the Ugandan High Commission in London. And well, I've made quite a few more to go yet. So that's really a great effort from so many people. Keep sending in through your reps the amount of miles that you've done, so we can hopefully by the end of our project find ourselves at destination's end, so to speak. Lots of bicycle stories are coming in as well, and they've been really exciting and interesting to read. Follow those in our special In Touch that will be coming out soon, or on the website again, they're going to be posted. And if you have any, do send them in. Lots of people have been doing all sorts of things to try and support All We Can. There's been such a lot of creative artwork going on, and I think people have been sewing Easter chicks and even making knitted bicycles. So they will be interesting to keep your eyes out for in your local setting. As I said, this is my All We Can t-shirt, and last time I was with you I was telling you a little bit about the history of All We Can, and I just want to spend just a little bit more time bringing us up to date, because I got to around about the 1980s with what was then the Methodist Relief Fund. In the 1980s there was a terrible earthquake in southern Italy affecting some 300,000 people, and the Methodist Relief Fund launched an appeal backed on local radio stations around Yorkshire in particular, and people donated caravans to serve as emergency accommodation. About 250 volunteers spent Christmas driving them across Europe. That's one really practical way in which Methodist Relief Fund helped back in the 80s. And in 1985 the Methodist Relief Fund and World Development Fund were merged to form Methodist Relief and Development Fund, one body. One of the first tasks was to respond to the terrible famine that we saw in Ethiopia. However, increasingly the work of the charity and of the church was about meeting longer term needs, and particularly supporting things like adult literacy, basic healthcare and agricultural training. This was to take us into the 1990s, and in 1991 MDRF, as it was known then, its income reached £1 million for the first time. How generous people were becoming in supporting the needs. And that meant that support was being able to be given for over 50 countries each year. Support ranging from urban healthcare programs in Kolkata to land rights of indigenous communities in the United States. Through the 90s, we ran a significant agroforestry program co-funded by the European Community at the time. So there was a lot of work going on to support different organisations around the world. Then we come into the 2000s. As MDRF continued to grow, it started to reduce some of the projects and countries it supported in order to focus more on long-term impact and building the capacity of our partners. It's very important to work with people on the ground, and building up partnerships as we're doing with the Change Begins with a Bicycle project is so important to help people in their own situations, and that's what MDRF was doing more and more of. 2004, of course, you may remember that terrible tsunami in the Indian Ocean, which resulted in the biggest response from MDRF to date, raising over £1.5 million to support those in need at that terrible time. Following year, MDRF and Methodist played a prominent role in the Make Poverty History campaign on trade and aid and debt. It was moving on to the 2013s, and MDRF was supporting long-term development projects with 38 partner organisations in 16 of the world's poorest countries. Focus was on livelihoods, health and women's empowerment, all really important causes. And we continue to respond to emergencies as they come up. And there was a continuing development of campaigning and educational work in the United Kingdom, allowing people to find out more and more about the needs of others across the world so they can respond more appropriately. It was in 2014, on the 8th of April, that MDRF changed its name. It became All We Can, although its trading name is still the Methodist Relief and Development Fund. And it's a new name that reflects our Methodist heritage, and it echoes those famous words, sometimes attributed to John Wesley, which talks about doing all the good you can, as long as you can, as ever you can. And so with this new motto, this new name, All We Can has continued the work started over 80 years ago to help others who are in need across the world. This is a great thing, an important thing that we should be all doing as Christians. In these days we may well be concerned about our own well-being, especially with this pandemic that's around. We may be concerned that we're getting our vaccines at the right time and in good order. I'm still waiting for mine. But let's not forget, across the world there are still many people who are still waiting for those sort of things and still need our help. So I hope that's brought you up to date a bit. I just want to say I hope you have the rest of the week, which is great, and are blessed. Take care, look after yourself, and God bless.